Hello friends, my name's Kyle, and welcome back to Film Domain. Before we get started, thanks for stopping by our channel. Be sure to drop a subscribe and share this brand new channel to help us grow. And while you're at it, go check out Game Domain for all of our quality gaming content. In our intro video, we talked about a series that we were going to kick off on this channel called Lost in Time, where each video, we're going to be covering a movie that we feel was overlooked and maybe weren't too popular or well known in their day, but are in fact very well made movies that we believe deserve more attention. These won't be straight up reviews, but rather just videos highlighting some of the key strong points of the films that made us fall in love with them. We will also mention the reasons why we think these movies never got the attention they deserved, and hopefully figure out why they were never all that successful. So now that you know what this series is going to be about, let's jump into the video. The first movie that we're pulling from our Lost in Time vault is Air Force One. No, we're not talking about the Nike shoe brand, we're talking about the movie from 1997. Never heard of the movie? This one sentence should immediately make you want to go find a copy and watch it. Han Solo is the President of the United States, and Air Force One has just been hijacked by Russian terrorists. Interested yet? With all of the divisiveness in today's political climate, I think it's safe to say that both sides would agree Harrison Ford would be an awesome man to sit in the Oval Office. Now, writing jokes aside, this movie really is an incredible one. The movie begins just after a meeting with Russian political leadership in Moscow, where US President James Marshall, played by Ford, boards Air Force One with his family, expecting a safe and happy return flight home. Now, we don't want this video to sound too much like a review, so we're just going to touch on a few of the major points in the film. To summarize the movie, Air Force One is hijacked by Russian terrorists, and the president works to take it back. In the climax of the film, a rescue plane is called, and military officers transfer the remaining survivors of Air Force One to the rescue plane via a tether line in a very tense scene. Eventually, they are able to get the president on board as well, and the movie ends with Air Force One crashing into the ocean. Air Force One is an exciting film, and the great execution in acting, filming, and story make it a great film in our minds. The quality of acting performances really helps set this movie above the rest, as the acting that Harrison Ford does as President of the United States really pushes along the greatness of the film. With incredible supporting performances from acting legends like Gary Oldman and Glenn Close, this movie holds its ground against some of the best of the 90s. Ford's skill with a firearm may be a bit unrealistic in a way, as we don't really think the President of the United States is better at wielding a firearm than his Secret Service agents, but hey, it's just a film. Harrison's personal appeal also plays a big factor in how we view this film, because when you like someone as an actor, it immediately makes the movies they're in that much better. Surprisingly, even two actual US presidents have made comments on this film, and both gave it high praise. Former President Bill Clinton, who was the commander-in-chief at the time of the film's release in 1997, saw the film twice while he was in office and offered praise for the acting and execution of the film. He did, however, point out that the escape pod and rear parachute ramp were not entirely characteristic of their true locations and functions on the real Air Force One. Current US President Donald Trump also had high praise for Ford's role in the film while on the campaign trail in 2016. President Trump said that Air Force One was his favorite film that Ford was ever in because he, and I quote, stood up for America. One of the reasons that we can point to as to why this film didn't do so well in theaters was its rather odd release date, and the fact that that release date was at the same time as one of the most well-liked and well-known movies of that generation. Air Force One was released on July 25, 1997, just a few short weeks after Men in Black first hit theaters. Even though the hype for Men in Black had died down a bit by then, people were still going to the movies to see that title rather than the new Air Force One, and it just really never grew too much in popularity. The movie also did not do well with critics, and it received some pretty harsh ratings from some of the bigger movie critics of the time. The movie currently has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, a 76% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, along with a 66% audience rating, and a 61% rating on Metacritic. So as you can tell from those ratings, the movie is an average movie, at best when it's critically rated, but we feel it deserves a little higher of a rating, as we wouldn't have featured it in this episode of Lost in Time if it wasn't a good movie. With that, we at Film Domain are going to give Air Force One an 8 out of 10, making it a definite film that you should watch if you have the chance. Even if the movie may not be the best from a filming, writing, or realistic sense, it's still a very fun movie and well worth a watch. And I mean, come on, who doesn't want to see Han Solo as president? Thanks everyone for tuning into our first episode of Lost in Time here on Film Domain. Tell us down in the comments what you thought of today's video, and tell us what you think of the movie if you've ever seen it. Make sure to leave a like on this video, and subscribe to Film Domain for more videos like it. Also be sure to check out our sister channel, Game Domain, for more gaming content. If you'd like to chat with our cast and crew, be sure to check out our Discord, links in the description, where we talk about all things Game Domain and Film Domain. Come chat about all of your favorite films, games, and other interests. Please bring anime. We'd also like to thank our Patreon patrons for helping us make Film Domain and Game Domain a reality. If you would like to help support our channels, please check out the Patreon link in the description below. Once again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned to Film Domain for more great content.